Hello, good people. Hello. Welcome back to another car conversation or episode of Make America Think Again with Shaunavonn. If you can just hear my voice over the airwaves, welcome back, everyone. I normally try to, make sure I put out some episodes every weekend, every Sunday to get you kind of up to speed and informed for the week. However, I had a family member pass away over the weekend. And then also, I found out about that family member on my way back from a ceremony that we did for a soror who passed away previously, like last month. So it's just been a lot. It's been a lot going on. So let's talk about the news, though, because there was a lot of news today, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. I just felt like I needed to pop on so we can talk some of these things out, so I can keep you up to date and informed as to what's going on, what happened today, what transpired today. So let's talk about the big BS bill update, big BS bill update. So you may have heard already or by now that it did pass in the Senate. And J.D. Vance had to come in, do the tiebreaker, but it passed in the Senate. The usual suspects that were teetering back and forth on the seesaw: I am going to vote for it, I'm not going to vote for it, I am going to vote for it, I'm not going to vote for it. Same usual suspects. The one who caved, Lisa Murkowski, and then Lisa had the audacity after voting for the bill and keeping everybody in limbo all this time as to whether or not she would or would not vote for it. She voted for it and then immediately turned around and said, well, I hope the House sends it back. No, bitch, that was your job. You were supposed to vote against it. So I don't care what you say after the fact. That's not going to avoid, harm or help you to avoid any type of smoke that you're going to receive from your constituents, because not only did you vote against them, but then you tried to play in their face saying, well, I hope the House just sends it back. Girlfriend thought we was crazy. But anyway, so there was a vote-a-rama that went on for like 20 plus hours. I think it totaled 26 hours. A vote-a-rama, if you don't know, is what they do when they are amending a bill. So each time the bill is amended, things are pulled out, things are changed, then they have to take another vote. And that went on for 26 total hours. And then they had a final vote. Okay. Key changes that might have changed before the final vote. But the last time where I was hearing all the information that was supposed to be in this final bill, this is what I learned. There was even more money carved out for Medicaid. That did not change. That for sure happened. As a matter of fact, $1.2 trillion was cut from Medicaid and food assistance. $1.2 trillion. And where did that money go? I'm going to get to it. But it always goes to the military. It always goes to some form of defense, whether we're talking about building a wall, military in general, or now we've got Felon 47 trying to build some brown shirt brigade around the country, some secret police. So there's money there. That money stayed in the bill. The money for the icy folks, that stayed in the bill. The AI component was removed. Last time I checked, before this final vote, it had been removed. And remember, I talked to you about that contract with Palantir, Peter Thiel's company, that and the legislation where you cannot, they cannot write any legislation in regards to restricting AI for 10 years. Okay, so to my knowledge, before the final bill was passed, that was pulled out last time I checked. Oh, and then also along with judges being able to hold government officials in contempt. I believe those two were actually pulled out by the parliamentarian. So before the vote-a-rama took place, I believe those two were removed. Now, whether they snuck it back in, we will see. We will learn very quickly, because the House is going to start their discussions right? And start their amendments. And then again, the goal is, according to this administration, they want everything passed by July 4th. And you all know that is what, Friday. So we gotta, now it moves over to the House. The House has got to have their arguments, make their amendments, etc. And then there will be yet another vote on the big BS bill. But most of the money pulled from SNAP, food assistance programs, veterans assistance for veterans, and then the legislation for AI, I already talked about that. Oh, there was money in there, put in there to finish the wall. More money for ICE. And remember, I told you that built into the bill were the $42,000 bonuses, $42,000 per ICE agent bonuses. Well, there are also sign-on bonuses. $20,000 sign-on bonuses was added into the bill. $100 billion for the military. Huge tax giveaway for individuals making more than $10 million. And you know what the problem is? The problem is, and I've said this before, the problem is we have a bunch of weak, feckless followers in Congress. Weak, feckless followers. And the big problem is, because they are so weak, because they are followers, they can't even figure out who the right party is to follow. Like, they should be more afraid of you. They should be more afraid of stripping you of and up to 17 million Americans of their health care versus the orange one and his little minion military. They really should, because listen, when people have everything, they're stripped of everything in desperate times, they hit desperate times, these people are going after, Republicans are going after every life-sustaining safeguard and program that we have in this country. Okay, I just have to be very blunt with this. Every life-sustaining program they have already, or they are going after at this point. So people are going to die. I don't know how else to put this. I feel like some people are like deer in headlights, that like they're just stuck and they're like, is this real? Is this happening? This is really happening. They are stripping Americans of all their life-sustaining programs and life-sustaining resources. And when people really feel the brunt of this, you're going to see desperate people do desperate things. And so that's why I say the members of Congress, Republican members of Congress, they should actually be more afraid of the American people that they piss off versus the orange one in the Oval Office. I also wanted to say to you, every single seat is up for re-election in the House. And this bill has now passed over to the House. So keep applying pressure. Keep applying. As a matter of fact, you can apply more pressure, because just let these people know you either kill the bill or you're killing your career. Because I'm going to make sure, whatever state you're in, you're going to make sure that they are primaried in 2016. So it might work out in our favor that it had to go back to the House. We will see. But every single House seat is up for re-election in 2026. And we need to milk that. We need to work it for all it is worth. Yeah, because over the next 5 years, the way this bill is now, it will just make the rich richer, the poor destitute, and millions upon millions of people will die over the next 5 years. Because this literally cuts off so many life-sustaining programs for up to 17 million people in this country. But Felon 47 will get his secret police, will get his freaking wall finished. alligator Alcatraz, that will come out of FEMA money. I'm going to talk about that in just a second. They will get all that they want. The military, the bluster, the war machine. And how about this? Maybe we wouldn't need such a war machine if we didn't go around picking fights with everybody. Every other day, he's picking a fight with Canada. He's over here aiding and abetting Satan Yahoo in Israel. He's, over here mixing and dabbling in India's business. Like, he's always into somebody else's business. Maybe we wouldn't need $100 billion for military if we just mind our own fucking business. So keep applying pressure, stay in the fight, and call your representatives. This bill has now gone back to the House, and let them know straight up, if you don't kill this bill, then I'm going to kill your career. That's it. Point blank. End of story, period.